On a 10 to 12 slide pitch deck, the last slide is often your ask, meaning how much money you're asking for from the investors. But that's not the only thing that should be on that slide. Another thing you should be including is what's called a use of proceeds. And what a use of proceeds does is it shows the investor where you plan to put their money to work. So for example, on a $100,000 ask, you might be putting $50,000 into marketing, $25,000 into payroll, and $25,000 into R&D for the product. Now, your use of proceeds is going to vary depending on the stage that you are at. So if you're at the seed stage of a startup, then the money might go more toward R&D. If you're at a later round of funding, such as a Series A or Series B, more money might be pouring into marketing to attract customers. The reason this matters to investors is they want to know where you plan to use their money, and they then tie that back to what I just talked about, the various phase that you're at, to see if that makes sense. If the inverse is true and you're asking for lots of money to go towards payroll, but you really don't have a product live, you're not adding headcount at this time, it just doesn't make sense to an investor. So make sure that when you're building out your pitch deck, the very last slide or wherever your ask falls in the document, make sure that you're including a use of proceeds and you're showing investors where you plan to use that money.